I'm John Benson.
And I'm Chris Olson.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We are honored to be the co-chairs of the 2011 Red River Valley Heart Ball.
Wouldn't it be great if we could eliminate heart disease and stroke from our communities?
Your donations raised tonight will help the American Heart Association fund life-saving heart and stroke research. In fact, research funded by the association has already led to important discoveries like CPR, life-extending drugs, pacemakers, bypass surgery, and surgical techniques to repair heart defects. Research is being done right here in Fargo that could one day eliminate high blood pressure.
You can help the American Heart Association make a huge difference in the lives of the people in our community. We'd like you to meet some real survivors.
It was December 20th. I was doing my Christmas baking like I always do. I got a sharp pain in my right shoulder.
She called me out of the office and was telling me that her shoulder hurt and that she had severe heartburn. At that point I thought, these are symptoms of a heart attack.
My mother and her whole family had heart disease. And being the youngest of 6 girls, I'm thinking, I got 5 sisters to go through here before it gets to me. I'm the first one.
Immediately when we got into the pickup, I called 911. Last stoplight before we turned in, I hit a red light. I cut across the boulevard, around the cars, over the grass, or through the snow, and we were there.
I remember going into the ER. They were taking me up to the cath lab. Then they worked on me. They shocked me 31 times.
You know, they came out in 10-minute intervals and just kept saying, we're trying and trying, and it's not looking good.
Yeah.
Well, we got her going, but we weren't really out of the woods yet.
First one's coming in that I remember was my son Grant. All he said was, Mom, please squeeze my hand. And you know what? I gave it my all. I just had a doctor appointment with Dr. Reagan, and he said my heart looks very strong. And my numbers are good. Cholesterol, everything is very good. I want to see my kids get married, have kids. There's things in life I want to do yet.
I passed flight physicals for commercial pilots. And at the last physical, the doctor said, you know, got a little bit of elevated blood pressure. 6 months later, I had 2 heart attacks at 10,000 feet, flying my own Beechcraft Baron home. Every time I exhaled or inhaled, it stung. And after 15 minutes, it went away. Well, then about 2 hours later, things start stinging again for about 15 minutes. It went away just as rapidly. It didn't gradually go away. It went boom. And I sat down with my wife and had supper. When I woke up at 2:30, it was really stinging. And I said, Carol, what? I said, something's wrong. You should give me a ride to the hospital. With her effort, gave me a ride to the Innovis Health, checked me over with EKGs and stress test. And once he evaluated everything, actually looked at me and asked me if I was trying to commit suicide. That's when they declared that I had 2 heart attacks. It kept me overnight, and when they started on Saturday morning with the best crew I've seen, and 4 bypass surgery, I think they call it quadruple, and we started back on the road to recovery. Steve is at the cardiac rehab center at Innovis, and he just emphasized that you got to walk. If you need a toothpick, go get it. If you need a glass of water, go get it. I probably walk 2 miles a day, plus cardiac 3 days a week. A lot of people ask me, do you feel better? I never felt bad before. I wasn't run down. I wasn't taking naps. I didn't have any problems, I didn't think. They fixed me up like brand new. And here I am talking to you this evening, and very blessed to be here. I don't think there's any family, any place on the face of this earth that hasn't had something pretty close to them that's had a heart issue.
I guess I wouldn't be here if it was not for the American Heart Association, because they're the ones that do the research.
I noticed when we lost our stepson, we've got several memorials where people gave $20 to $50, a $50 bill here or there, or a $100 bill here or there. You won't miss it, trust me.
Well, if it can keep you from going through what we had to go through, that's worth every penny.
and it
And
saved
if you
my
have
life.
to, it might have an outcome like ours
Right.
versus the ones who weren't so lucky.
Our goal tonight is to raise $70,000.
Over the past 5 years, the American Heart Association has invested more than $1 million for cardiovascular research in North Dakota and more than $16 million for research at Minnesota institutions.
What an excellent return for our investment. I hope everyone here will consider making a gift to the American Heart Association. Chris and I have already made our contribution.
Let's have more stories of survivors and together build healthier lives for everyone in North Dakota and Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you.